What's going on, guys? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. And today I wanted to highlight something on crypto projects and really how do you assess them? You know, maybe Bitcoin, maybe, Ether. I mean, those such big names. And maybe you don't question kind of the fundamentals around them. Or really, if you take those two out of the equation, you kind of think to yourself, well, how would I assess any crypto project? Whether they be on the top 25 of the market cap list, top 100, or what if it's a name I just hear or a friend that comes by and says, hey, you should be in this project or you should invest in this project? How would you know what's a good project and what's not? And going forward on this channel, I do want to start covering some other protocols, some other projects that are not just Bitcoin and ETH, mainly because I think it's important. It's where a lot of the gains are made. Bitcoin and ETH have had such a run up. They have more of a run up to, in the future, but a lot of, significant gains may have already happened. And that could be, and when I mean more significant, there still could be a 2x, a 3x, a 4x, especially when it comes to ETH. But with some of the altcoins, the coins that are not so well known, that are still in their development phase, you might get 1,000x, 500x, 10,000x. It's possible, but how do you find them, and how do you? I mean, nothing's a guarantee. Obviously, nothing I say is financial advice, but there has to be a framework for you to assess any project, right? Big, medium, or small. And so today, I just want to highlight 5 of them. Okay, and there's each one could be a video on its own, and may very well be in the future, but I want to quickly highlight them today so that you can kind of take it and start to look at projects through this lens. All right. And so it's been called before 5 T's, and one of them, and so here's how I'll say it. There are five things you need to look at when it comes to a project, but you can kind of find your own way within those 5. All right. So I think these are the 5 main topics, but you can decide, hey, 2 out of the 3 are best for me. I need all 5 to work before I think about jumping into these. And always do your own research. Always, always, always. Okay, don't rely on anybody else to come up with the answers to these questions. So first one is team. All right, so who's involved? Do they have their faces behind these projects? Is it an actual face? Is there a link to their social media? Basically, are they putting their reputation, their face, their reputation online for this project? That's going to tell you a bunch of things about them. Okay, there's some projects out there, there'll be anonymous founders with a placeholder for their face and no link to bios. Okay, so for me, that would be a no-go. Okay, so you need to know who the team is from like physically. Can you see them, their faces? And then also, are they willing to put their reputation on the line? Are they giving real information about themselves? Are they linking into profiles that you can actually access? So within team, then you also have to look at obviously their track record. What's their history? Have they done things similar in the past, or at least in the field before? Who else is on there? What investors do they have on there as well? That's going to make a big difference. Okay, so team really is the founders and investors. Who are they? What's their track record? And are they putting their neck on the line when it comes to representing this particular project? And so that kind of rolls into the next one, which is really traction. Okay, so traction meaning, how much community buildup is there around this project? Who's talking about them, right? What conversations are they involved in? And this is going to be social media heavy, right? So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Discord, what's the following like? What's the engagement like? What's happening in this community? Is it a message every 6 months? Is it very active messaging in the beginning and now things seem to have disappeared? It's going to be a big difference. So traction within the community, right? Or building a community. So are there any other big names that are following them? or mentioning them, or is the project themselves, are they involved in having, direct tweets or some kind of thread where you can see interaction from them and other big names in the space or affluent people in the space? So that definitely matters. Okay. And then number 3 is going to be technology. All right. So can you play with what they're saying? Is there a prototype? Is there a minimum viable product, also known as an MVP? Is there something you could jump on and play with it? If it's clunky, is it fast? Is it user friendly? Does it stop working? Does it crash? Does it freeze? All those things you want to play with to see if it works. Okay. And then 4, which is pretty big, is tokenomics. So does the project have tokens that they're going to distribute? And if so, how are they going to distribute it? Who's getting what? How much do the founders have? How much is circulating in supply versus how much is in reserve? So what does that mean? When you see circulating supply versus max supply, you want to have something where most of the supply, at least 50% of it, has been released, because that means that the dilution that's going to happen going forward is less. If you have something that has circulating supply of 10%, and then you know that there is a potential for 90% of those tokens to come on the market, flood the market, and those people who own those 90% can actually get out by selling out on the tokens. All kinds of things can happen. Now, are all 90 going to come at once? Probably not. Pretty good chance they won't. But all it means is there's a bigger reserve of tokens that are going to come on the market at some point. And if you're getting in now and you're getting a piece of the pie now, that's such a small piece compared to what's coming. So that's a big thing. And then the last one is terms of use, terms of service, however you want to phrase it. So, are there any lockup periods for the founders? Do they have to stay invested or vested? Does it get vested over a period of time? Meaning, if someone owns 50% of tokens, or let's say they own 1,000 tokens, just to make it easy. Are they going to get all 1,000 out the gate and they're able to sell it on the open market right away? Or is it going to say, hey, look, over the next 3 years, you're going to get, over the next 4 years, you'll get 25% of your total allotted. And even when you get it, you can't sell with, after 6 months or 18 months or whatever the case is. Or maybe you have everything at launch, but you can't sell for the next 12 to 18 months. So those kinds of things you want to know, right? Because if the founders have the bulk of the tokens, and there's there aren't any restrictions on when they can sell, as soon as it launches and you jump in, they're dumping everything, right? And also, there's a bit of a faith, a belief mindset that, hey, look, if you're not going to be in this for the long haul, if you're getting rewarded for short term, like you're getting everything up front, then what's the likelihood that you're going to stick around, for the ups and downs after launch? And that's very important. You want to see founders who are willing to play the slow game and be involved for a longer period of time. Same with investors. That's what you want. Okay, so those are the 5 things. And we're going to, it's going to get heavier involved in each section as we go forward, and we'll look at projects through this lens. But those are the 5. Really, you're looking at team, you're looking at traction, you're looking at technology, you're looking at tokenomics, and you are looking at terms of use. Okay, team is 1, traction, technology, tokenomics, and terms of use. Those are the 5. And once you have this basis, you can do a quick run on certain things, and then see if you want to dive in further going forward. All right, guys. Hope you found this video valuable. We are definitely going to cover them more in depth going forward with actual examples. All right. If you like the video, hit the like button, share, click the notification bell, and subscribe. All right. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Just remember, tomorrow never comes. Let's jump in the game, guys. See you in the next one.